That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about. A mechanical stove. Seen better days. Another object with the look of the Vorarlberg workshop. Reminds me of Hans's automatons in Valladolid.
Ah, I see I'm not the only one stuck here. Bah, pull up a seat and together we can moan about being stuck here.
Thank you, but I have things to do.
I hope you can stay until this evening at least. In London they have the changing of the guard. Here we get the changing of the colors. I guarantee it's worth the wait. English?
American, actually.
Oh, seeing as you've come so far, then. Besides, it's always nicer to be stranded in good company. From Belgium, myself, on a world climbing tour.
Stranded?
Didn't you know? They've closed the Teufelskragen. That's the path they call the Devil's Pass.
So that's what all the fuss is about.
All down to climate change.
You mean the thaw, right?
Made the pass too dangerous to climb and apparently resulted in a morbid discovery.
Oh?
Bodies of resistance fighters, killed while leading refugees to Switzerland. Frozen solid.
Resistance fighters? You mean frozen since the Second World War?
That's what the paper says.
Is that what the tent's for?
It's a temporary chapel of rest that the rescue team made while waiting for the bodies to be airlifted out.
I see. I guess there's no reason to disrespect the departed, even after all these years.
I only hope all this sudden interest from excavationists puts an end to the stupid rumors that a strange creature haunts the Silberspiegel. Otherwise, you can be sure, as soon as the old lady pops her clogs, this place will become run over by those infernal tourists.
Can you tell me about this Devil's Pass?
Oh, it's on the far side of the cirque, looking out from the terrace. As you can imagine, it's called Devil's Pass because it's extremely dangerous. Most of all because of the risk of avalanche. Only seasoned alpinists can negotiate it, really. As a professional alpinist myself, what I love about it is knowing I'm climbing in the tracks of courageous climbers of bygone times. There's a real sense of history about it. For example, resistance fighters used it during the war to smuggle vagrants and other victims of the Brown Shadow into Switzerland.
Is that the path they've closed that leads from the refuge?
That's right.
Thought so. I saw the notice.
They've blocked it off so the helicopter can airlift the frozen bodies from the bottom of the pass. Meantime, they have set up a temporary chapel of rest, as you can see.
Well, that's moving. It's important to show respect, even after all these years. I've had some experience with fantastic fauna myself. But what do you make of the so-called strange creature that roams the mountain?
Just another local fairy tale to pull in the tourists, if you ask me. They say it lives in prehistoric caves. and that it's responsible for people going missing. Ooh. Some even say that the mysterious cries you can hear on some nights are the creature calling for a mate. In other words, the usual twaddle you normally get in remote or uncharted places like the high mountain or the deep sea. Twaddle passed down from generation to generation, through sheer ignorance.
What about those frozen bodies they discovered at the foot of Devil's Pass?
Well, due to climate change, the snow line has receded, revealing the bodies trapped in the ice since the Second World War. Most probably resistance fighters and exiles, trying to flee the fascist occupiers and reach Switzerland by the pass. I imagine they got caught in an avalanche. Poor wretches have been imprisoned ever since. Until today. That is why the authorities have blocked access to the pass, so they can take the bodies out, identify them, and give them a proper burial.
Right. Thanks for cluing me in. Anyway, I better get back to what I was doing.
You are welcome, Fräulein.
Lenny's father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it. An old book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday. An old book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday. Dormitories. I wonder how many people stop at the refuge these days. This must be Lenny's room. Not sure I'm allowed in here, really. Austere. Looks like a storage room. It's cold in here. Another of those cigar butts. So that's the painting Dana told Lenny's father to buy. Not bad. And similar in style to my painting. Wonder what the others were like. There. But who could have left it open? Austere. Looks like a storage room. It must be a lot of work keeping this place going. Hats off to Demoiselle Lenny for managing all by herself. Photos of the refuge. Looks like they're arranged by time period. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth. These date from before the war. There's even one from the summer when Dana worked at the refuge. That's pretty impressive. Obviously helps Lenny get up and about. Keep your servant also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. I must remember to ask Lenny about it. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. This must be Yunta's coffer, the one Lenny spoke about. I should be able to change the images by turning the thumb wheels. Some of the images seem to match with the whole painting. I should check each side of the coffer. I should check each side of the coffer. A medal for acts of resistance. And it's got Lenny's name on it. Take-up reel, like the ones used on old cinema projectors. The meager amount I've managed to save since I escaped from the mine. Amazing. Now it shows the view from the terrace. Amazing. Now it shows the view from the terrace. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth. A film developing company. They probably developed Yunta's films and sent them back once they were done. Summer 1937. The year Dana worked here. Let's see. I filled my last diary last night. Ordered another one, but still waiting for supplies to be delivered to the refuge. Using an old envelope in the meantime. Today invited Dana for a chat after her shift.
I'd like to know what Leon sees in her. I've never seen him so smitten. Thanks for popping up, Dana. How did the shift go?
Fine, same as usual.
Just finishing up here, then I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Wow, that looks futuristic. What is it?
Ah, that little baby is my viewer. That's why it goes in the coffer.
What does it do?
I use it to put together and edit the rushes.
The what?
Rushes. In other words, the strips of unedited footage. I've finished today's selection, so be a dear and put it in the coffer, would you?
I would if I knew how.
Oh, just turn the key in the lock.
Looks like I'm out of options for now. I should check on what Dana did in 1937 while she was here. It might show me a way to open the coffer.
Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
I think you ought to know. On the night we first met, when that horrible hearse made such a fuss, I caught Lenny playing with one of your camera lenses.
I knew it! I just knew she was rummaging in my things. I'll make that little brat sorry we ever met. Believe me.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
It's a handy hiding place. Who made it?
Oh, Herr Gustav. He knows only too well that some customers have... Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
Impossible. This is where Junta's bed used to be. which means her secret stash can't be far.
Get away!
I'll need a key to open it. Where can I find the combination for the mechanism? Darn it. The end of Yunta's notes. Impossible to know what happened next. But maybe I can figure out how to...
That's a lot of equipment you have there. If you don't mind my asking, how do you manage to pay for it all?
Oh, that's easy. Especially when you know a few generous patrons.
Did you take the photos of the athletes? You're not often lonely then.
Well, look at our sweet little waitress. Doesn't she have a saucy mind? It's called art, dear. My work aims to explore every facet of youth and the vitality of bodies.
I bet it. All these newspaper clippings mention the brown shadow. According to Father, their influence is growing among the population. Now that I've had the misfortune of meeting Herr Huss here, I understand his concern. I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I use them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh?
must have got it wrong. Better try something else. No, I don't think so.
Those two struts on the viewer must be where the reels go. I guess one for the film reel and the other for the take-up reel.
No, that doesn't work.
According to Yunta's notes, there was a room on the other side. I can't reach it anymore, but Dana could. According to Yunta's notes, there was a room on the other side. I can't reach it anymore, but Dana could. Vaughan Refuge, 1937. Yunta's films, taken during the summer Dana worked here. I've already seen this reel. Interesting footage. Let's see what's on the other reel. I should rewind and remove the first reel before putting this one on. Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it. Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much. I should go back to Lenny and ask her if she remembers what the argument between Dana and the Mountaineer was about.
Fraulein Laney will end up catching her death of cold if she stays out like that.
Demoiselle Lenny, I saw the film you shot of Dana and Leon.
So Junta kept it. She got so cross when she discovered I'd rummaged through her stuff. She most certainly had secrets of her own, that one.
I know it was ages ago, but can you recall what happened between Dana and Leon that day?
You do like flogging a dead horse, don't you, Fraulein? But as you please. Since Junta never let me use her camera, I decided not to ask her anymore. Like that, she couldn't say no, could she? And that's when I heard them arguing.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
There are plenty of other guides in Wagen. Why does it have to be you? Just tell them to find someone else.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but...
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night. He's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vegarian and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vegarians would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the Music Academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that. You know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on, then.
All right. Your nickname will be Alpine Lover from now on.
All right, but maybe you ought not to say this in public. Beautiful, isn't it? I could stay here forever.
There, Fräulein Walker. That is all I have to say. I hope this time you have what you need to continue on your journey.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. But there is just one more thing. You mentioned a music academy? They must have ledgers and archives. Maybe I'll be able to find out whether Dana left an address there.
Well, it hasn't moved. It's still in Vargan. Go to the musicians' district. It's right next to the musical square. That's all I can tell you. So if you don't mind, Fräulein.
Thank you. Then that's where I'll continue my search.
Is it really worth your while to keep looking for Dana? Is it not just another pipe dream, Fräulein? I get the impression there have been others.
I prefer to look at it as a calling. Besides, I don't have much choice. Thanks to you, she's a part of me now.
As you wish. I hope you find what you are looking for.
Thank you. Again. I've got everything I need from here, I guess. Best get back to the guest house. Get some rest. I'll go to the music academy first thing in the morning. I have to put in a coin. Typical. It won't budge. There must be a way of unblocking it somewhere else on the mechanism. It's time for me to take the tramway again. I just have to go back down the path I came by. That must lead to the other side of the circus.
If I were you, Fräulein, I wouldn't wait too long before returning to the tram. It's a fair trot back to the station, you know. So, I expect this will be our last goodbye, then, Fräulein. If I were you, Fräulein, I wouldn't wait too long before returning to the tram. It's a fair trot back to the station, you know.
I found her, my sweet Katusha. The girl in the painting. Her name is Dana. Dana Rose.
That's nice, Kate. Real nice.
I'm gonna find out who she was, just like I promised you.
Nothing more than a good old adventure to forget your grief, I guess. You should go, Kate, or you're gonna miss the tram. There will always be a train for you.
Oh, gosh. What a day. I hope Oscar's okay, wherever he is. I'm not abandoning him. I just need to find him. Closed. It's late. Frau Wagner must have gone to bed.
I beg you, Kate, please come back and say goodbye to your mother. Call me so we can organize your return in the best conditions possible. Call me, for the sake of what's left of our friendship.
There's no point. It's too late, Olivia. Not a soul here. Not surprising, given the time. Colonel Blake. Colonel Blake. Do not disturb. Well, all right then. I understand why Wageners call their town the heart of... Wagen is surrounded by the Alps. Switzerland is right on the other side. That's Germany over there. I wonder how far Barockstadt University is from here.
Is that you, Katie?
Yes, Mom! I mean, who else can it be? Looks like Mom's friends came over again last night. She's been seeing them a lot since what happened to Dad. Maybe too much. Another letter for Dad. Last time it took Mom days to find the strength to open it. The piano that Mom ordered will soon be here. Couldn't bring myself to tell her that I wanted a drum kit instead. Mom bought those again. Wow. I hope I get to travel around the world too when I grow up. I'd love to play with Mom's music box in the living room.
Oh, hello, Munchkin.
Hey, Mom.
Is everything okay, Katie? How are you doing with your homework, Munchkin? Are you getting bored, Katie? Because if you are, I can always find a chore or two. Is everything okay, Katie?
We haven't seen Grandpa and Grandma for a long time. Mom says they'll probably come over from New York on her birthday.
How are you doing with your homework, Munchkin? Is everything okay, Katie?
I'd love to play with Mom's music. You forgot your music box.
Be careful with that, please, Munchkin.
I just love it.
You've always liked it, ever since you were little.
Will you give it to me when I'm big?
Maybe, if you're a good girl, when I get old.
So when will that be then?
Later, Katie.
But when?
In a very, very long time, I guess. When I'll be gone.
What the hell? You want me to call you Olivia? Fine. I've survived worse. I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage. I shouldn't put it off. I better call Olivia while I have the courage. Who do you think you are, Olivia Foster? It's easy to judge and lecture me from New York. You know nothing about what I've gone through, of what I've had to endure since leaving Hans.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Kenton, is that you? Who's there, please?
Olivia, it's me, Kate.
Kate? Gee, it's so weird to hear your voice after all these years.
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated? I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You know I can't come back, Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I'm calling precisely because I do care. It's just that ever since Katyusha's death and escaping from the mine, well, things have been, complicated. And then there's the woman in the painting, Dana.
What are you talking about, Kate? Just listen to yourself. None of what you're saying makes any sense.
Olivia, please.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Canton. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
I get why you're mad. Do you think I'm not mad at myself?
Well, I hope so.
But there's nothing I can do now to change what happened. It's over, Olivia. All I have now is the woman in the painting.
Oh, Kate, I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone, and that's how you're gonna stay.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaughan. I must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records. Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
Oh, hello, Miss Walker. Miss Walker, did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
I'd like to go to the music academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town. The students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Vaughan was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see. But I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
I must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Vaughan because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Vaughan for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
do that. Stop it.
Stop!
Oh dear. Help! Help! Someone! Help! Put me down!
Oscar?
Bet you can't catch it!
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
All right then.
Oscar! Are you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar, oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the music academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, travelling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead. And for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
Is there anything that requires my assistance? Would you mind using a bigger bag in the future? Yes, Kate Walker? I'm counting on you to transplant my mechanical heart as soon as we come across an XZ-2000 automaton. It's all very humiliating for a sophisticated automaton like myself, you know. Kate Walker? Is everything all right, Kate Walker? How is your research going, Kate Walker? Would you mind using a bigger bag in the future? Kate Walker? I'm counting on you. Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry. Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through.